United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you all bow with me for a word of prayer, please? Father, we come before thee tonight, welcoming these students and their parents. It's an opportunity for our Lions Club to help recognize scholastic abilities. Many times sports seems to take the front. And we'd like to, here in this club, recognize this part of our students' education. So as we proceed with tonight, please be with all these young people as they go forth into college and their life ahead. Give them strength in all that they do. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right,
Hey,
you're
seated.
on.
Lions, here we go. Number one. Go. Those lions roar. You can hear those lions roar. What? You can hear them roaring every week as they beat and growl for more. Rah, rah, rah. Don't you hear those lions roar? Their snarling, grumbling roar. So roar, lions. Bite, don't you hear those lions? I don't hear those lions. What? Hear those lions roar.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, we got is this on? Is it on? Hey, hold it just a second. We got to sing a song. You all know it. We didn't put out the songbooks. I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. Kick it up. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Yeah, enunciate clear. Don't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. Don't you hear them shouting? Dinah, blow your horn. Bum, bum, bum. Dinah, won't you blow? Hey, Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Yeah, something like that. Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen. Yeah, it's Rich Job. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Strumming on the old banjo, singing fee-fi, fiddly-I-o, fee-fi, fiddly-I-o. Oh, fee, here we go, fiddly-I-o. Strumming on the old banjo. Yeah, pretty sharp, pretty sharp. Hey, that's really good. Can you all hear me back there? Okay. Huh? You all right? Well, tonight is, as you know, Education Night at Fairfield Lions Club. That's when we honor the top 10 scholars at FHS over the past 4 years. Now, we know there are several other students a few points shy of being at this same level, but you are the 10 here, highest in grade point average over the past 4 years. So it is with a pleasure to welcome you students and your parents to be recognized and honored tonight by the Fairfield Lions. Now just a little bit here, information. The Lions International, this is advertising. The Lions International is the world's largest service organization. 1.5 million members, some 45,000 clubs involving 185 countries worldwide. Our Lions Club motto is, we serve. And over the years, beginning in 1918, our founder, Melvin Jones, with the encouragement of Helen Keller, the problems and solutions to eyesight became an important goal for Lions. It continues to be a major concern, but over the years, other areas have been added, including hearing, diabetes, and especially supporting of our youth, helping them as they prepare to become responsible adults. And we recognize that the youth of today are certainly going to be the future of tomorrow, carrying the torch of leadership and providing service to others where needed. And so this is why our Fairfield Lions Club, and we do have some 80 members strong, but you don't see them all here tonight. Some are inactive because of health reasons. We do have a noon meeting, and there are some that prefer the noon meeting, have problems trying to get out for an evening meeting. And I don't think the principal really wanted to let the students out to come here for a noon meeting, you understand. So anyway, we have about that many, and they're eager to show our appreciation to you 10 students tonight who are the outstanding academic leaders in the class of 2004. I'd like to go ahead and mention that many times, and you know this, students are recognized in music, instrumental, vocal, in drama, in speech, in all forms of athletics, and other co-curricular activities. And you receive recognition in the media for these much deserved achievements. In fact, many of you I see sitting here now have received that sort of honor. This is very good. But many times, in fact, a lot of times, those who have studied the hardest, those who have put forth extra efforts and have the ability to learn and show it, are never really recognized except by maybe a report card. And so tonight we Lions wish to take this time to applaud your academic achievements. You who have studied, you have turned in your reports on time, you have used your talents in the classroom, and whether you know it or not, your classroom skills, your responsibilities to detail, you're going the extra mile. Your knowledge and abilities have been excellent examples to other students in your class. And we at Lions appreciate your efforts and encourage you to continue to build upon these strengths that you have acquired as you become adults in a very competitive society. You are the top 10 scholars in the class of 2004, and that's a class of about 150 students. So at this time, I'm going to call each of you individually to the front. Oh, you're going to love this, I know. And ask you to recognize your parents and tell us about your student life. And this is too much for you to remember. Remember, you're top students. I'll try to remind you of this. Tell us a little bit about your FHS life, co-curricular, and especially academically. What is a favorite subject or subject you have? Be sure you include that, because this is why we're really here tonight. And your immediate future goals. In other words, are you going to go on to tech school, to college? Are you going into the military? Or whatever, you're going into the work world, whatever it is, tell us what you have in mind. And so I'm going to ask our president, Chad Huff. Where are you, Chad? You're hiding.
I'm hiding.
Chad is our president, and after you've told us all this, then he's going to take time to give you a little plaque and a certificate, so that when sometime you happen to see it down the line, you remember that today was a day that we are honoring you for what you have done over the last 4 years in high school. So I'm going to start alphabetically. This is not grade point wise. This is going to be, I don't want to get in trouble. So our first student was not able to be here, so I can mention that I will be seeing this person, Laura Blair, and her parents are David and Allison Blair, and I will be getting the plaque and the certificate to her. So the first student that is here is Laura Bogaerts. And so Laura Bogaerts, could you come up, please? And come over here on this side. Come over here, I'll get this up. And speak good and clear, Laura. Now tell us who your parents are and get right into that.
All right. Well, my name is Laura Bogaerts, and my parents are Arvin and Grace Bogaerts.
Now, you all hearing her? Tell her to slow down. See, some of us are old people. By the time it gets through my hearing aids. Speak for yourself. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Arvin?
During high school, I've been involved in band and chorus, cross country and track, FCA, National Honor Society, and church choir. And my favorite subject would have to be biology. And next year, I want to go to St. Olaf College, and I'm going to major in biology.
That's great. Super. Okay. Alphabetically, next is Sam Boland. Sam?
Hi, my name is Sam Boland. My parents are Patricia Boland and Richard Bryan.
Right over here, right? Okay.
I've been going to FHS since second semester freshman year, so I didn't get the full 4 years, but it's been a good experience. My favorite class was easily physics. I had Mr. Meshley as my teacher, and he was a really good teacher, and it was a really fun class. During my high school career, I've been involved in swimming and soccer, and I'm an All-American in swimming. And I hope to go to Stanford after I finish high school, but if I don't get accepted, I'll go to Iowa.
They have a good swimming program there.
Yeah.
Good swimming program. Okay, good. Thank you.
I feel like I'm getting shorter.
Next up, I'd like to call upon Amanda Daumy. Am I saying that right, Amanda? Did I say that right? Yeah, is that right? Okay.
After 12 years, they finally get it right.
I wonder how I did that right.
I am, as he said, Amanda Daumy, not Dom or Daumy or anything crazy like that. During my 4 years at FHS, I've been in student council, and right now, along with Abby Long, we are the student body co-presidents. That's a privilege of 2 seniors every year. I've also been in volleyball and softball, band and marching band and the pep band. And I would say that my favorite class has probably been pre-calculus or calculus with Mrs. Higgins, just because she's a cool teacher. Next year, hopefully I will be attending Stanford along with Sam. But we don't know yet, that's next month. But if not, hopefully then I will be attending Iowa to major in law, forensics, FBI kind of stuff. Oh, right, my parents, sorry. My mom is Tammy Nelson, and my stepdad is Rob Nelson.
Okay. Oh, here. You want to get a picture?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
She's embarrassed, but I'm not. Thanks, guys.
That's right. She doesn't know that, does she?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I did mention that earlier, that if you had a camera and want to take pictures, please feel free to do so. Natalie Hinshaw. Somewhere. There we go.
My name is Natalie Hinshaw. My parents are Greg and Julie Hinshaw over at that table. Next year, I plan on attending Calvin College in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And my activities include band and choir. This year I played piano for the jazz choir. And I also play piano for our church choir, also the Quill staff and National Honor Society. I've played tennis in the past 3 years. My favorite class is probably calculus, again because Mrs. Higgins makes it really fun and entertaining. And it's really rewarding to do a problem like the whole page. It takes the whole page to do the problem and get it right. And next year I plan on majoring in business with thoughts of going to an architecture program after that.
Robin Hecker.
My name is Robin Hecker, and because my dad's out of town today, my brother came along. And my mom's here also, Renee Hecker. At FHS, I've been mainly involved in swimming, and I tried golf one year, but that didn't work out. And then I played tennis my sophomore and junior year, and this year we have a program with Ottumwa, and I'll be playing soccer with the girls up there. I'm in student council and Spanish club, and during the winter I spend a lot of time at the pool with the Fairfield Swim Club, working with the little kids, trying to get them to streamline and all that stuff. And I'll be hopefully attending Arizona State University, where I'll be studying biomedical engineering and pre-med, and then come back to Iowa for the medical school.
Wonderful. Eric Newman.
My name is Eric Newman. My parents are Ed and Beth Newman. Excuse my voice, I was yelling at the game last night and I kind of don't have much left.
What game was that?
My activities at FHS have included basically mainly the fine arts, band, choir, and speech team and the drama club. I've been involved in all kinds of choir ensembles and band ensembles and jazz band and pet band. Also, coming up this April, I will have been in the 34th National Guard Army Band for a year, and I went to basic training this summer, and I will go to complete my training this summer and come back and hopefully be a full member of the National Guard. I plan on going to Iowa State and majoring in engineering as well.
Glad to hear that, Eric. He plays trombone. Can't be too bad. Carrie Peck. There we go.
My name is Carrie Peck. My parents are Roger and Diana Peck. At FHS, I've been involved in student council, band, Students Against Drunk Driving, National Honor Society. I've also been a class officer for 4 years. And next year I plan to attend Iowa State University with an undecided major right now, but possibly business or mathematics.
Catherine Roloff. Catherine?
All right, my parents are John and Paula Roloff. At FHS, I've been involved in band and choir, including several small ensembles and accompaniment. I've been in National Honor Society, a member of Quill, Spanish club, drama club, and speech team. I'm also actively involved in my church. If you make me pick a favorite class, I'm hoping that in a year or two I'll be able to tell you it was advanced comp. It's a very writing intensive course. And next year I plan to attend Central College, undecided major, but possibly a Spanish minor.
Nolan Simmons.
How long do I get? My name is Nolan Simmons. I am the one and only son of Virgil and Jane Simmons. My activities include choir. I'm in the select choir and also the chamber choir. I'm in the bands, the concert, jazz, and marching bands. Where in marching band, I've been the drum major for the past 3 years. I am opinion editor for the Troy Banner, the high school newspaper. I am actively involved in the speech team, both large group and individual. I am in the drama club, where we're putting on a play soon. Come and watch it, Footloose.
That's an appetizer.
That's enough?
Oh. You're on FPAC too, so everybody else. If you want to
I'm sure I'm part of something else. I just can't remember it right now. But one of my favorite classes is programming, computer programming, because that was one of the classes I was just really excited of signing up for, just because I knew everything I learned in that class I'm either going to use later on, or I'm just really excited about learning, because I don't know, I'm a computer nerd or something. And my future plans include going to Iowa State, where I plan on studying aerospace engineering.
Well, Fairfield Lions, I think you can see that these are very busy people involved in many areas of co-curricular, excuse me, as well as being 10 top scholars. And so I'd like to ask you Lions to stand up at this time and give these parents and these young people an ovation for their great work. And students, I hope that you know from this that we Lions are very proud of your academic accomplishments, and may your dreams and your goals for tomorrow be reached. Now, before I introduce the speaker for this evening, I want to tell the students that would you take your plaques at the end of our session over here by the banner, and tall ones in the back and then shorter ones in the front. We'll make 2 rows. We'd like to have picture going into the Fairfield Ledger, so would you please do that? And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you our speaker, who is not new to students, but I think maybe new to a lot of us, is Tom Voorhees. His education was from Truman State University, which is Kirksville. He has an education, was it S with specialty in 93, education administration, and an MA in 76, special education, BS in 74 in psychology. His experience has been Davenport Central High School as an associate principal. He's done many things in all of these areas. He was in Smart Intermediate School, associate principal from 1993 to 96. He was at Walcott Intermediate School as a teacher of alternative programs from 89 to 93. He was administrative assistant in the Adult Evening High School from 86 to 87. North High School as a teacher of the behaviorally disabled 1985 to 89. West High School as a teacher for the behaviorally disabled 1979 to 1985. At Wood Intermediate School as a teacher of the same in 76 to 79. Career highlights: successfully implemented the block system. He developed a highly successful reward system for the entire student body. He planned and developed the layout for 4 highly successful exceptional educational programs. Automated exceptional education budget system for a district of 17,000 students. Improved minority relations through the development of appropriate curriculum. He improved attendance procedures at both the middle and high school level, successfully assisted in the coaching of 3 state volleyball teams, and coordinated a $6.6 million renovation project from the ground up. His honors were the Dean Ludwell Scholarship, Outstanding Graduate Student, and nomination for Scott County Teacher of the Year. So at this particular time, and his membership, he was member of the Davenport Principals Association, School Administrators of Iowa, National Association of Secondary School Principals, and Rotary International. I think you can see that Tom Voorhees has been involved in the educational business for a lifetime for him. So let's welcome our high school principal, Tom Voorhees.
Can I have that paper there, sir? Boy, I sound really good on paper, don't I? Well, Mr. President Huff, distinguished guests, Lions members, parents, and students. It's quite an honor to be here this evening and to speak to you about the educational program that we have here at Fairfield. First, I would like to thank all of you for taking the opportunity to recognize our students for their academic efforts. We in the Fairfield, that would be me now included, are extremely fortunate, and I think the parents would join in with that as well, to have such great community support for our schools and our children. So I thank you very, very, very much. Now, a little bit about Tom Voorhees that wasn't on that sheet, which is not much that wasn't on that sheet. I probably have the best job in the entire world. And the reason I have the best job in the entire world is because I get to mix with these students. I get to be with these students. I get to talk with them on a daily basis. I get to see them, be with them, watch them grow, and be around them as they develop all of their talents, their skills, and their abilities. And yes, some days are a little more challenging than others, but if life wasn't challenging, what would be the sense in being alive? They give me a great deal of strength. I get to experience each and every one of them, and I say to them, when you graduate, somebody will take your seat, but nobody will take your place, because there is no one like you. So I get to experience all of that. So I'm very, very, very fortunate. A little bit about me. Well, let's talk a little bit about the school. And there's more than a little bit. When Ron asked me to speak, he said, then mention some of the highlights. Well, we could be here for another week if I mentioned all the highlights that we have. So, students, if I miss one of them, will you please correct me? But I went through and tried to make sure that we had everything. To begin with, at the beginning of the year, and we're going to just talk about some of the teams that we have, both our cross-country teams did extremely well. I believe our girls were second in the conference, and Laura can help me with that, right? And our boys were number one in the conference. And our boys ended up 8th in the state. And what was our girls? Were they in the state? We didn't get to state this year with girls. Girls swim team, my goodness, Robin, how many records did we break? Every last one of the records were broken this year. Our teams, and I guess I have to tell you that in our district, our situation in our district is that we swim against some schools that have students, 2,000 students and more. So here we are, small but mighty, right? You know what that means, right, Rob? We went out there and we ended up, I believe girls were qualified in 6 events for state, and we ended up 5th, I believe, in our district. And the reason we ended up 5th in our district is because we didn't have a diver. We don't have diving, and diving counts for points. And we didn't get those diving points. So we most likely would have been on top if we'd had that situation, correct? Then we go to girls volleyball. We were co-conference champions this year. Did an excellent job there. The football team did had an extremely good season, and I believe we only lost to Keokuk, ending up, I believe, 3rd and 9th maybe in the district, in our entire district. And I would have to say, I ended up, when we go to away games around here, you people really mean away games. The first away game I went to was South Tama. And of course, not being from around lower Iowa, on the way back I decided to take an alternate route. Yeah, I ended up, thank the Lord, I knew the word Ottumwa. So I ended up in Ottumwa, and then I knew my way back from Ottumwa. Away games. It was almost like an overnighter. Let's see, wrestling. Of course, wrestling season, here we go. I believe we ended up 15th in the state. And we wrestle at the 3A level. And at the 3A level, there are 64 schools. And you can guess who's number 64. We are, the 64th. We go against, again, schools that have over 2,000 students. And we ended up in the 15th in the state. And we had a first place winner at 135, Mr. Adam Karimsky, who did an absolute fabulous job. And third with Ben Heckthorn at 152. And we had 4 total that qualified for state. And that was Sam Smith and, don't remind me here, kids, let me get it here. Adam Foreman. There we go, and Adam Foreman. So we had 4 that qualified, which was excellent. And we ended up 4th in the district, 2nd in the conference. Girls basketball. Girls basketball had a winning season this year, and first winning season in a number of years. And I think the best was that we beat Washington. Yeah. And ended up 4th in the conference. Boys basketball, well, no, I don't have any word on what's going to happen next Wednesday. But the boys ended up top in the conference, and next Wednesday we head off to state. They're doing an excellent job. One of the things fabulous about the kids at Fairfield is that they work together so well. They coordinate their efforts so well, and it's absolutely wonderful to see them working together on their speech teams, on their music, on any team that they're on. They work together well and they complement each other. Girls track, which starts indoor season, and last year we had a wonderful season. I'm looking forward to a good one this year. As Robin mentioned, we have soccer starting this year, boys soccer starting this year for the first time, and hope to get that program off the ground. Girls are playing soccer with Ottumwa, and I don't know how many people we have going down there. We have 2, and that would be Cassandra and Robin. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And then we have golf and tennis that are starting. Speech team this year. Wow. We had over 70 people involved in our speech team. Over 70 students, and that's just speech. That's not speech and debate. That is speech alone. So we had, and Catherine probably can help me with this, and Nolan can help me with this. I believe we qualified for state in 8 events. I believe it was 8 events, wasn't it? And in those 8 events, the only school that was ahead of us was, I believe, Cedar Rapids Jefferson. And they had somebody qualify. They had 10. So looking at the size again of our school and the talent of our students, we're right up there with the best of them. Drama club, I believe. Now, and again, you can help me out on this. Our drama club was one of 2 that was asked to perform at the state convention. And that was one of 3. Thank you, Nolan. One of 3 at the state convention, and that was in North Scott, in Eldridge, Iowa, at North Scott High School. And again, out of the entire state, we were one of 3 that were asked to perform. Our choir, was it the chamber singers? Singers, that's correct. Chamber singers were asked and invited to sing at the state girls basketball championship, and they were there on Monday. We were invited. Boy, I'm going to run out of energy here. And our FFA program. Currently, we have a student. We have many kids that qualified, and nobody that came home with under a silver award. But we are now moving in, I believe, on April 6th, that we're going to be in Ames, at which time one of our students, that would be Brent Pasha, is qualified as a star finalist. And in qualifying as a star finalist, he has the opportunity to get a number of scholarship money. in order to be able to continue on, and he hopes to go on in agronomy, and he did a project this last year where he worked with Monsanto and DuPont and worked with seed crops and working in the chemical aspect of it, and did just a fantastic job. So I think that's just about it for now. We still aren't finished with the year. But I would like to say to the students that are here, what you have represented here and what you do represent at Fairfield High School is you represent the very best. And that everything that you do is absolutely wonderful and is appreciated greatly and may not be said enough, but I want you to know that you do a fabulous job, and I thank you very much. Okay, now, background. Excuse me. I would like to say I lost my voice at the game last night, but I think it was at the faculty follies is where I lost it. And I'm going to be paying for that, I think, the rest of the time I'm here. As Ron mentioned, I have all of my education has come from Truman State, and I taught for 13 years, and now I've been in administration for the last 11 or 12. I can't remember exactly, 11 or 12. I was associate principal at Davenport Central for 7 years and 3 years associate principal at Smart Intermediate. And we're talking about the block system. That's a new delivery system where you have only 4 periods a day, and you have 4 classes for 9 weeks, and then you change to another 4 classes for 9 weeks. And it's a wonderful system. Enjoyed it. You get to have your students in class for 90 minutes. So you get to develop a relationship beyond just come in, let's get busy on the work, let's do it, here's your homework, and see you tomorrow. So that was a wonderful system there. And I taught 4 years in an alternative program at the intermediate level, and that was a great experience. I taught students that were classified as at risk, and we started a business. And rather than just doing our classes around math, English, and social studies in that conventional way, we developed a business. And the business was to develop a restaurant, and each one of the students had a responsibility, and they were supervisor in charge of maintenance, in charge of buying, in charge of selling, in charge of, and they learned through that what it was like to run a business, and as also we did math and English and social studies through those avenues. Each year we raised about $3,000, and there were about 8 students in the program. And with that, then they ended up taking a trip at the end of the year. We went to Adventureland, and that paid for, they had to plan this out as well, their transportation, their tickets, their food, and also we had stockholders. They found out really early on, one of the students had asked one of our advisors that we had through our business partnership, well, can you just go on the shelf and take anything off the shelf? I mean, it's your business, why not? I mean, you own it. And she said, well, you could do that, but you'd end up losing money. So they found out, and after we raised all this money, after you pay the stockholders, after you pay all your bills, all your debts, they had about $2 left over for themselves. So they were a little reluctant to take that extra hamburger when we had the hamburger fry and sold all those. Anyway, I have 2 children, 2 girls, lovely girls. One is 23, is soon to be 24. She has graduated from Iowa in 4 years, and then she went on and got her master's degree in criminal justice. And now she's applying for a PhD program. She wishes to teach at the college level, so she's applying for that right now. My youngest daughter is 21, and she is 3rd year of college, and she has changed her major 4 or 5 times. Yeah, we love her. We love her to death. She's absolutely wonderful. She's now into business and fitness and nutrition. She is, she's going to market the fitness and nutrition. She works out probably 3 hours to 4 hours a day. She's got a 4.0 average. She takes care of her college. She works 2 jobs. So, I mean, she's really, really into just activity. And where she got that, I have no idea. Yeah, she is right now planning on April 29th, she's going to be involved in a, I don't know how to say this, but it's a competition where she's going to get up there and do all this. And I'm thinking, oh. I love her dearly. I was born and raised in Wheeling, West Virginia. Wheeling West by God, Virginia. Not to be mistaken with Western Virginia. And I was there for 18 years, and then I came out here to the Midwest. I was married for 23 wonderful years. I am now divorced, and I have two brothers. My mother lives in Florida. We lived in West Virginia for a long time, and then my parents moved down there, and I have two brothers, one who lives in Orlando and one who lives in Tallahassee with my mother down there. Now, a little bit about my hobbies. Well, of course, my children. And I'm not saying something that's foreign to all the parents in here. Follow my children. And I try to be everywhere, even at that show that's going to be. I try to be where they are and support them in everything that they do. And I have heard many parents say, I can't wait till they're 18 and they're gone. Please, wait. Your life will be absolutely empty. You will be walking around wondering why you're not picking something up. You'll be walking around wondering why the phone isn't ringing, or you're not yelling up or down the stairs, saying, where are they? And waiting for them to come home, looking at the clock, worried to death that they're not going to make it. You end up sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. So, I have the best job because I run like crazy all over the place for these kids, but that is wonderful. So please, wait. Volleyball, I'm a volleyball nut. I was on 3 leagues, playing 3 times a week when I was in Davenport, and I said, that's it, when I leave, I'm not going to get involved. Last night, I wasn't able to go to the game last night. I've made it to all of them, and of course, the horrible guilt feelings that I have. I'm on a league, and tournament was last night, and I talked to all the boys in the basketball team, and I said, guys, what do I do? I mean, it's my team, I need to play, it's tournament. They said, Mr. Voorhees, you better play. So I played for 3 hours last night, got home, got in bed, put the IV in of ibuprofen, and went to sleep. Exercise. I enjoy exercising. Get up at 5:30 in the morning and go down to my own personal weight room. That would be over at the school, and use all of the equipment. Music. I enjoy music. I started singing when I was 5 years old in the church choir, and all the way through, and then got to the point where in college I was playing, the guitar and playing the tavern scene, and even in Davenport did that as well for a while. Then went from that to the wedding singing. That was wow. I had horses before I moved here, and I got rid of my horses because when I moved down here, I knew that the responsibilities would be such that I wouldn't be able to do that anymore. And I've been in a situation where I had to board my horse, and it's not as good as if you have them right there on your own place. And I don't think the people on Dogwood Drive would love to have my horses. And I enjoy gardening, flower gardening. I love to see those things come up, and I have a green thumb. I have plants all over my office, as the kids can attest to, and I have plants all over my house, and I'm looking forward to those plants. And play golf? Maybe. I wouldn't call myself very much a golfer, but I enjoy it. Let's see. A little bit about our new programs at school. That's what Ron wanted me to talk about. Well, hope to start a new freshman orientation program. And freshman orientation program, and where we get some of our top kids that are going to help our freshmen become acclimated to Fairfield High School. It can be a pretty traumatic experience as a freshman coming in not knowing anybody, not knowing the building, not knowing what's expected of you. And I'm finding that with the data that I have, that my freshmen really need to have a mentor. And someone to lean on, someone to go to, so that they understand what high school is all about, the credit situation, the homework, and someone to give them some guidance. So we're going to look at a new freshman orientation program. We also have an inclusion program that we're going to start. In our special programs department, we have a number of students that are in special education classes. What we are doing is taking those kids and we are including them in our regular classes, and we're looking at co-teaching situations where teachers from the special programs department will go with a number of students into the general education classes, and we will help those students to achieve in those areas. Part of the No Child Left Behind, which is anybody familiar with No Child Left Behind? I would like to call it the No School Left Solvent. But yeah, NCLB is saying that we have to look at putting our students and show why taking them out of the classroom and putting them in a special room is better for them than leaving them in the classroom and working with their achievement levels there. So inclusion program. Also, as Ms. Daumy can help me out, we have started, she and Abby started the AIM program, and it's a mentoring program. When they came to me in the fall and asked me if we could do a mentoring program with the elementaries and send out many of our students to help the students at the elementary level that have been recognized as at risk, needing extra assistance. So we have currently, I believe, 14 or 15 students. Yeah, 14 or 15 students that are going out to the elementaries on a daily basis during their free period, or on a weekly basis, yeah, and some maybe even more than others, and helping students at the elementary level. And it's coordinated through the counselors at the elementary and through Mrs. Dunlap and myself and Amanda and Abby. So that's a wonderful thing. We have a school to work program that isn't new. It's been there for a while. A number of our students go out in the afternoon, get 2 hours, or in the morning, 2 hours working with businesses. We have a new program that we're going to institute, the Wall of Honor. I was involved in the Hall of Honor, is what we had in Davenport, at Davenport Central, where we recognize people who have gone on in life, who have graduated from the high school and have done some wonderful things in the community, as well as become well known in their profession, and have come back to help out in many ways with the community. And that Wall of Honor program will start next October, where we will have a celebration in the school and bring back some graduates who have done well, and we'll have a plaque for them as well that we'll put up in the Commons area, and we'll start that program. We hope that we'll be able to start some, look at some construction projects, depending on no school left solvent, depending on what's going to happen there. We hope that the construction will be able to start on some construction projects. We also have a new program, it's a tobacco use prevention program that we've started using in our health classes, and a number of our students, well, I think about 10 or 12 students went to the University of Iowa just this last week to visit the cancer ward up there, and to listen to one of the top physicians explain to them exactly about tobacco use and misuse and use period of tobacco, and how bad it is for you. Security issues. I know we live in Fairfield High School, or Fairfield, Iowa, USA, but security is always an issue, and something that I take to heart. I was a part of developing a security program for Davenport Central. Of course, Davenport Central is located in a larger city, and the intensity and duration of things that happen there are certainly not prevalent here in Fairfield, but they didn't think it would happen in Paducah, Kentucky either, where there were students that were discontent and decided to take it out on others. So we're looking at security programs for Fairfield High School. Right now you can get in about 25 doors. So you can come in Fairfield High School at any time and go anywhere in the building. And I'm thinking, that's wonderful, it's great, it's open to the community, but at the same time, I think maybe we need to take a look at how we can tighten that up. So that's a program that we hope to be able to start. Let's see. A little bit, well, you all know about No Child Left Behind, and it's a new law that's come in, federal law, that we have to abide by, that looks at a number of the data that we compile on a yearly basis as far as achievement of our students. And the idea behind the law is absolutely fantastic. We are looking at all students and their achievement levels, and looking at their achievement levels and helping them to achieve that much more. However, sometimes I believe that it's a little bit crazy about how they're going about putting it together. They're requiring us to take a look at excuse me, scores on our Iowa Test of Educational Development and ITBS scores, Iowa Test of Basic Skills, and looking at it, and we have to reach a certain percentage, and 41% proficiency is what they look at in those students that are at 41st percentile and above. Luckily for us, I mean, they set the standard at 64%, and most of our students, our average, are 85%. So we're doing extremely well in our percentage of 85% of our students are above the 41st percentile. But as we go on with No Child Left Behind, they're going to say, well, next year we want you to have 90, and after that 95, and then we want 100% proficient. Well, as all of you know, with your families and with students and working with your families, we all have a certain set of rules in our house that we have to follow, but not every child in that house follows those rules exactly the same. So what we're being asked to do is bring everybody up to the same level, and I think it's a wonderful situation, but then again, every child is different. We want to develop that child to the best that they possibly can be. So No Child Left Behind, our ACT scores are above the state level and above the national level. So we are above in our ACT scores. Our AP Calculus scores are above those of state and national. And our ITED scores, as I said, are again above state and national for our students. So you have to be very, very proud of our students and the support that they get from their parents, and the support they get for their academic achievements is quite obvious, and our teachers are doing a very good job. What NCLB is asking us is to do a better job, and I can't fault that. I can't fault that at all. I just wish that we would supply us with the wherewithals in order to be able to do that and give us some clear-cut guidelines. One issue that we went through, and you probably read this in the paper, that we were cited for our graduation rate, and that was in 2001, 2002. You can count a student as a dropout 3 times, but you can only count them as one graduate. So a student can drop out 3 times out of high school, start, drop out, start, drop out, start, drop out, but they can only be counted as one graduate. So that's then added 3 dropouts on top of your graduation rate, and I tried 15 ways to figure this out. And the state told me that, yeah, that's the way it is. So there are some rules and regulations there that I think are still being ironed out. I think that's just about it. My personal philosophy is children are the future. And we must take each one and develop that child to the very best. And yet we must maintain and cherish their individuality. Thank you for having me this evening. Questions that might be out there that I might answer? Great, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Chad, is there anything else you want to add? Or?
No, I just want to congratulate everybody, and we're proud of you, and we appreciate you coming tonight.
Thank you so very, very much. We do have one other thing to do as you're leaving.
Take a picture.
Students come over here for a picture. And you're here, so that's fine. Just bring your plaque with you. Come over here. Thank you.
I should.